Hi, everybody. This is How I See the World, and I'm here with PK Truth um, because I have had a lot of people, a lot of subscribers of mine and PK's asking me to keep them updated on what has been going on with PK, um, who's been through the ringer, to put it lightly. So I'm just going to pretty much let PK tell you what has been going on. This all started with a video he made of a phone call which was an innocent enough question, which is what any real journalist should be doing, which is now the kind of journalistic work that is being demonized so that governments can carry out their nefarious little stunts. So, PK, welcome, and please tell us what has been going on with you.
Um, Thanks, Robin, for this, giving me the opportunity, which I really haven't had. I haven't had it all to express in the last 5 or 6 days. All I can say is right now it's Tuesday, the 7th of February here in Melbourne, and for the first time in 5 or 6 days, I had a decent sleep last night. I just want to, right at the start, Robin, please respect something. I do not want to speak about a certain individual or an event which happened here in Melbourne 2 weeks ago. I don't want to speak about it. I've been given a court order that I have to stop even talking about it. I'll get on it further. I just hope that you can respect that, and please, can you not mention any individual names or even the event? I just have to protect myself because I don't know what the next step that could put on me. So please respect that.
Of course, absolutely.
Okay. So what do you want me to
take us back to the beginning? What was the first thing that happened to you?
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll skip the bit you said about the phone call. We'll go back to last Wednesday, whatever date that was. I think it was the 1st or 2nd of February, 1st, 2nd, whatever. Wednesday. I was on my way to play golf about 7 a.m. in the morning with a friend of mine, one of my partners who I play with. He was driving, and my phone rang. I thought, well, who's ringing me at 7:10? Ungodly hour. Most people are, usually asleep even.
Right.
I picked up my phone. I didn't even look at the number. My eyesight's not the best. I actually thought there was a number there, but it turned out to be a private number. And I've learned from my mistake now, if anyone calls me on my private, the first thing I'm going to say is please call me back and show me your phone number so I know who it is in case any reprisals. Yeah. So that was a huge mistake of mine. Anyway, it turned out to be someone from the Australian News. Never heard of them before. They simply wanted to talk to Peekay Truth. I initially said, no, go, it's not me. But anyway, I did talk to him. He asked me a few questions, and I sort of gave it to him. Because previously, actually the day before, my channel was suspended for 2 weeks because one of these videos was removed, given a strike.
Right. So he was asking questions about this event that you're not going to be talking about today, right?
Exactly. Yeah, and it's an individual. Okay. So that was it. I virtually said, don't call me again. When I was playing my round of golf, about 3/4 of the way in, this would have been about at least 3 hours after, I got a call from my hysterical son. Asked him, Dad, what's going on? And I said, I don't know. What do you mean what's going on? He said, well, my son's mother, my ex-wife of 14 years ago, was absolutely hysterical, as well as my daughter. I said, what's wrong? She says, well, the media is talking to her. And I said, what? The media is talking to my ex-wife? Wow. What has that got to do with media? What, the mainstream media? I was flabbergasted. So why hasn't anyone told me? Or surely, people would have called me or texted me, PK, you're on the news. But anyway, I said, tell her to relax. It's just the media. There's no problems there.
Yeah.
So What happened? I kept playing, and half an hour later, I thought, well, hang on, this is probably the same guy that called me, 3 hours ago from June News, Australian June News.
Yeah.
So I called my son back. Said, look, I won't give his name, but tell Mum not to worry. It was just that jerk off from the Australian June News. Don't sort of stress over it.
Right.
And yeah, that night I spoke to my son, and that's what it was. That's what it was. He contacted my ex's workplace, which just happened to be the Royal Melbourne Hospital.
Yeah.
And I actually thought that he spoke to her, but he didn't. This was what upsets me. This is the harassment that this disgusting piece of filth who has to call my ex-wife at her place of work and not talk to her, but tell her staff members, the fellow staff members, the whole story about everything.
Oh my God!
And so my wife, ex-wife, is absolutely, hysterical. That the staff members know all about this, and what are they thinking? So anyway, that was for that day. So this is till Wednesday. All right. Wednesday night, I go see my woman friend that I see once a week usually, and we're sitting there, playing Trivial Pursuit. Would you believe? Because nothing. We don't watch the TV. We have a meal. I won't get into personal things. The phone rings at 8:30. My cell phone, and it is a member of the homicide squad. And my, how do you think I feel here? And I'm trying to actually recall what he actually said. Basically, he said I was traumatising all of Melbourne. And at the point of this initial part, I never actually sort of said. I mentioned that I was an investigative researcher, journalist, political commentator, what have you. I'm just not any average Joe on the street. I should have mentioned that, but your mind's you're hit by this, and you don't know really what to say.
Of course.
But like I said, he said I was traumatising. Sorry.
I said, especially when someone from homicide's calling you. Why would somebody from homicide call you? What does that have to do with anything?
And he was a senior detective, so he wasn't just a little, first starter.
Yeah.
So he said I was traumatising Melbourne, and he asked me. It wasn't an order. He asked me to remove 2 certain videos, and I said, "Oh well, one's actually been removed by YouTube yesterday." And so and said, and another condition is you don't make phone calls or go to any hospitals. And I said, that's fine, but can I just sort of make one condition that you show me footage of a car going down Burke Street? And he said, I'm not going there. I said, why not? Because the whole matter is under investigation. And I said, well, how come within 24 hours all of the world's being shown 2 CCTV footages of a car going down the sidewalk? How come you can show that and it's still being shown? I said, I can't go there. Or anyway, that's that was released by the media. I didn't say it then, but when I think of it now, well, why is it still up on YouTube? If you are worried about security cameras on Burke Street, which there are hundreds of,
right,
and you've still withheld them, why are you still leaving this footage, which was released within 24 hours by the so-called media, of 2 stores, just nothing stores, Mind Games and a 7-Eleven store, just 2 crappy cameras. Please take them down because you're doing this investigation. But like I said, now that I've thought of it, that's what I should have said. But so I agreed straight away. Yes, I will remove those videos. But then he insisted, "Can you remove anything to do with the whole this event?" And I think I said, look, I've got some evidence to say that this is staged. This is, well, I don't want you to do any more stuff on this. Please remove all the videos. And I said, okay, I will. And that's all it was. He said there was no warning, there was no order given to me about making any more videos on anything else.
Right. But he's using
actually,
intimidation.
I don't know I don't know my legal rights, but I don't know. Can someone just call you over the phone and actually order you to take down YouTube videos? I would have thought come face to face and hand it to you. Well, what I did mention, sorry, he was actually genuine because he said he was sitting in the car outside my place, where my mother lives. And when I got home first thing in the morning, next morning, obviously my brother was there waiting to ask me what the hell was going on. And thank God that he was watching the TV in the lounge room and he saw these two lights because they came in two different cars. And he actually opened the front door before they started banging on it. And they actually asked him, where's Peter? I don't know what they asked for Peter. He says, well, he's not home. He's at his friend's place. And he said, who are you? He says, I'm his brother. And he told them the surname. Says, yeah. And then they said, okay. So they sat in the car and called me. So it was definitely, they were from the homicide squad.
So when they called you at the golf course, they said right off the bat that they were at your house?
No, this has nothing to do with the golf course.
Oh, this is after that.
This is Wednesday night. The golf was in the morning. That was the meeting. This is the police at night. Okay. So, yeah, right at the end of this conversation, I said, yeah, fine, good, I'll do that. Thinking that would be the end of it. I asked him, can I please have your full name? And he gave it to me. And he said, no worries, call me back anytime. And I'll get to that hopefully later on in this. Call me back anytime. Yeah, okay. So what happened? What happened next morning, like I said, I got home, spoke to my brother. He was pretty cool about it. Shocked, of course, but thankfully my mother, who would have had a heart attack, didn't know about it. So straight to my PC, delete. Fine, gone. Never to be talked about again. I had to go on Peekay 22, my old channel, to quickly knock up a video where I just sat there talking, thanking you've heard of it? You heard the video, did you, Robin? I'm not sure.
Yes, I did.
Okay. I called it I Was Silenced or something to that effect.
Yeah.
Just thanking my subs and a few other things. Basically, I didn't even talk about the event, talk about the individual. I obviously mentioned about what happened, what I just mentioned. I said, thank you, that's the end of me, most likely, and yeah, goodbye. Well, like I said, no pictures, images, nothing, just a still shot of my previous video I made the day before, just showing an email, I think it was. Well, 2 p.m. that afternoon, and I'm thinking everything is pretty cool. Mm-hmm. I get a call from the mental health department of the Royal Melbourne Hospital. I'm going, what the hell? What do you want? Says, we were referred to us. You were referred to us by the police. I said, look, I'm not mental. I can't remember what I actually said. Talked for a few minutes. What's all this about? I'm not mental. Blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. Anyway, forget about that. An hour later, this is the part that people really go to hear. Because I'm telling the truth here. This is not made up. I'll go to court and testify this.
Sure.
The front door nearly got knocked over. I nearly jumped off and hit the ceiling because I thought, what's going on here? I jumped to the front door and I thought, my mother's bedroom's near the front door. I thought, oh, this is it. She can't obviously not notice this. Thank God, once again, she must have got up because I opened the door and there were 2 policemen from the local police station, male and a female. I opened up the screen door. It was like the original door, then the screen door. Because, of course, my mother locks every door. It's, protective. Yeah. I went out and they said, do you know why we're here? I said, I got no idea. They said, you're under arrest. I said, under arrest for what? I said, you, can't remember the words, but like you broke the order and put up a video again this morning. I says, what? All I put up was a video explaining to my subscribers, thank you, and goodbye.
Right. Yeah.
And they said, look, I'm sorry, but I think I said, have you seen it? I said, no, we haven't seen it, and it's not our problem. You're under arrest. And so
didn't even see it?
Well, can I get my some personal things? And I went back through opened the other door, and luckily, I don't think my mum actually closed her bedroom door and thinking that it was someone that I was talking to, friend or whatever.
Yeah.
So I went and got my wallet, my mobile phone and keys. actually, they followed me. I said, please, I whispered, don't follow me. You know, I don't want. They actually, I think they did go out. They respected, don't follow me.
Yeah.
I mean, they had no right to follow me. There was no warrant or anything.
Well, you didn't ask them either.
But you know, if I was living by myself, it would have been a different situation. But my main concern was my mother and how she'd react. I mean,
yeah.
Thankfully, to this day, she doesn't know about it. I pray to God, you know, that she doesn't find out any time. But I got my possessions. Then I closed the door, walked down the stairs, got to the nature strip where the car was parked. Luckily, we got hedges in front, so my mother really wouldn't have noticed, but she might have seen part of the car.
Yeah.
Luckily, there's not the neighbours around are pretty old, and you don't see many walking outside.
Mm-hmm.
So they took my wallet, my phone, and my keys. Then the male policeman searched me, patted up and down.
Yeah.
Then I don't know what you call them, paddy wagons. What do you call? We call them divvy vans here.
We call them paddy wagons, yeah.
Paddy. Okay. I do remember once, 30-odd years ago, when I got thrown into one of them when I had too much to drink. I had a drink driving charge over the limit. That was 30-odd years. More than that, 35 years ago.
Yeah.
It was a hell of an experience, but I don't remember much because I was pretty, I had a few drinks. But this is different. I'm wide awake. It was a hell of an experience, Robin. They didn't throw me in. They sort of, made me jump in. It's like a little dog bloody box.
Yeah. And
I got to tell you, luckily it wasn't a really hot day. It was fairly warm.
Mm-hmm.
They dehumanised me because they wouldn't put an air conditioner on. I'm sure in their little seat at the front they would have nice air conditioning. But I'd say they would have put the heaters up a little notch on me. But I thought, please get out of here. Get out of it. They sat there for like 3 or 4 minutes in front of my place. And, I'm feeling like the worst criminal of all time. And we'll get to what I've been charged for, which makes this whole thing insane.
Yeah.
So they drove away finally, and on my street we got these road humps, and they made sure I felt them. Because you got nothing to sit on. You're just sitting on, what I meant, like, not even a carpeted, like floor. It's just hard plastic, whatever. Very uncomfortable. Okay. And you got tiny holes to look out through, which you can't hardly see anything. Anyway,
like a dog kennel.
They took me to the local station, which was like, seemed like a lifetime. It was between 10 and 15 minutes. When we got there, this is the part that, you got to listen to this. The roller door, I imagine, opened. You can hear a roller door open. The car drove in. Yeah. Then it closed. And I'm thinking, oh, my God, finally I'm going to get out of this. Because it didn't start taking effect till a few minutes. And I was nearly dying. As you know, I've got respiratory problems. I'm on a neck defibrillator, coughing. Yeah. They left me dying in this heating, like, rising temperature going like up 1 degree every second. It felt like I was near suffocating. I was nearly about to, I'll tell you, it was like 10 minutes. I felt just about screaming, blue murder, get me out of this thing. Jeez. And they casually finally opened the door, and I said, why did you have me locked in here for like 10 minutes? And he virtually said something like, there was someone in front of you. Something ridiculous like that. Yeah. They just did it to dehumanize me.
Yeah, they're terrorizing you. They're intimidating you.
But I don't want to go in too much, but they marched me in, and then it was like the whole police station was there surrounding me, at least 6 or 8. They made me stand on these 2 steps in front of a glass screen. I mean, I hope there's nothing wrong for me saying all this.
This is your experience. You have every right to tell us.
I don't want to get into trouble for this, but so there's the senior sergeant behind this glass screen, and either side of me there's like 3 or 4 policemen. And of course, the mug shots, a few basic questions from some woman. Then the senior sergeant starts rattling off all this stuff about intervention and this and this and this, and I'm thinking, what's going on? I said, I don't know what's going on. and then they took my wallet, took all of the money, counted it, what have you. And I cut out all that part. It went for like 10, 15 minutes, I don't know. Then they threw me into a room, like, you know, but look, this was the opposite. It was like they put the freezing coolers on. Oh, before that, they made me take my shoes off to make sure I freeze even more. I only had shorts and a singlet on. And they said, we'll be back in a minute. They came back like 15 minutes later.
Mm-hmm.
And who walks in but two women from the mental health?
Oh,
I said,
my
what's
God.
going on here? Has this been set up or something? I thought I came here to be interviewed for something about me uploading a video. And you got these two women from the mental health. And in between was the police guy that arrested me.
Yeah.
So I had to be questioned by these two mental health women. It was the hardest thing you ever want to do. Like talking to a brick wall. It did not matter telling me how great a life I've led, how, you know, children love me, everyone likes me, I make friends, you know, everything, great career.
Right.
As soon as I mentioned something about conspiracy, I think I said to them, look, don't even say that word. I said, just call me a truther. And these were two morons that wouldn't even know anything about anything.
Right.
But still, I haven't told them, you know, because I'm still in shock. I still haven't told them about me being a private, an independent, investigative, researching journalist.
Right.
This comes later, as you'll hear.
Yeah.
So, okay, this went on for, actually before that, they gave me an opportunity to, I said I wanted to talk to my daughter, who happens to work for a law firm in the city, legal aid. So they have to make me wait for another 10 minutes. This is prior to this happening. They actually marched me outside on the phone. I spoke to my daughter, who was on the train, and she was hysterical. I said, Dad, just go with what they say, sort of thing. So anyway, back in, then I continued. That's when two women came in. That went on for like 40 minutes. They said, oh, look, we've assessed you. We think you need another assessment tomorrow. Oh, so what?
Yeah,
what do you mean another assessment tomorrow? So yeah, we'll be back. They came back 10 minutes later with an appointment to see someone at the whatever you want to call it, a clinic.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose a doctor, I don't know, a doctor of what. At early time, 10:15 it was. I said, what if I don't turn up? This is, we'll be knocking on your door tomorrow night. So it's like it was a threat.
Right.
So I had no idea. Sorry, I'll cut this short if I can. Then they locked the door. Said we're back in a minute. Another 10, 15 minutes later while I'm freezing. Finally, the police, I think it was the woman that actually arrested me, opened the door. She said, you can come out now. I said, I thought you were going to interview me. No, the senior sergeant will do that again. So I go back there, stand there again, policemen everywhere, you know, police persons everywhere.
Yeah.
Like I was Charles Manson, honestly.
So they were
He went on again about the intervention order, whatever. He counted my money, gave it back to me. And that's what I said. Have you actually seen the video that I put out this morning? This is crazy. And he says, no, it's got nothing to do with us. This is in the hands of the courts now, and we've been just told to deal with you and to give you this intervention order. So I said, you haven't even seen the video, and you've arrested me because I put up a video that you haven't even seen, and because of that video, I've been served with an intervention order on an unnamed person, as I said from the start.
Because they just needed an excuse to do it.
I was dumbfounded.
Yeah.
So while this was going on, I think I asked 2 or 3 times to the policeman, you will take me home, won't you? And they insisted, yes, we will. And I said, could you please actually drop me off around the corner? So don't park at the front because my mum, she sees it, my God, she'll be hysterical. Right. Yeah, okay. All right, finish this off. They march me out the doors and I go out the front. I see daylight again. And I'm standing there, minute, 2, 3, 4, where are they? 5. So I thought I'd go into the main entrance to the normal police station, the reception area.
Yeah.
Here we got a great big sort of, like a reception area with, what do you call it, the glass screen. There was 3 people waiting for someone to come to reception. And there was no one there, and yet they had 8 police worrying about me.
Right.
Minutes earlier, but there was no one at the reception. I went in there. Then I walked out again. Are they coming or not? Another minute, 2, 3, 4, 5. Went back inside. Can you believe those 3 people were still standing there? No one at the reception. I walked out again.
Wow.
No one's coming to take me away. 3, 4, 5. I went back into reception. Those 3 people are standing there. That's how they treat us.
Yeah.
There was no one that could give a bugger about these 3 people, let alone me, who was supposed to be taken back to my home. So I couldn't take it anymore after close to 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I said, they're not going to take me home. This is how they're treating me.
Yeah, they don't care.
So I walked home. The walk was going to do me good, but I want to get home as quick as I can because my mum, she would have been threatening what's going on. Where am I?
Right.
It was a 35-minute walk. I got home. First thing I saw was my mother, and she gave me this, one of the worst looks I've ever seen. But luckily, I don't know what it was, but it was something unrelated. I didn't tell her that I didn't tell her that I went out because I'm being a carer.
Yeah.
But she didn't mention anything about the police.
So she was.
So my thoughts are all going through my head. Sorry, Robert?
She didn't know anything that happened then.
No, and still doesn't. Thank God.
Yeah.
So this is Thursday, and I think, my God, I have to contact this homicide guy. I have to speak to him because he said call me anytime, and he didn't even give me an order. And I want to know, this video, like everyone's seen, was nothing.
Right. So
I rang everywhere. I couldn't get a number, but I got in touch with someone. He said, I know who it is. I'll email him. He'll get back to you soon. This is nearly 4 days at least after. Do you think he's called me back? No. His job was for me to remove those videos. That was start one, and the rest was what I've gone through, the mental thing. Yeah. But anyway, I didn't mention that I had to turn up Magistrates Court
Monday.
Monday. So yeah, which was like 2 days after. There was a weekend between.
Right.
But come to the next day, which was the Friday, I had to go to this mental assessment at 10:15. I had no even. I spoke to my daughter. Even then, she was just hysterical.
Wow.
She didn't know from her law experience whether I really had to go to this mental health thing, but I didn't want to upset anyone.
Yeah.
I went.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's not a good experience. I don't want to denigrate people, but in that waiting room, I just felt like I was in one flew over the cuckoo's nest.
Oh,
I shouldn't say that, but anyway, I ended up going in there with 2 people again. I said the same thing, but this time I mentioned I was an investigative reporter.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I mentioned something about Sandy Hook to this one guy. I said, well, what happened at Sandy Hook? Oh, yeah, I think children got killed. Yeah, the story was 20 children got killed and 6 adults. And have you heard of a guy called Robbie Parker? I said, no, of course not. I didn't say that. Of course you haven't, because you wouldn't do 1 second of research. Right. Robbie Parker was the father of someone, a massacred child or slaughtered child, who that evening in a suit did a press conference. And his smile was bigger than the smile of Luna Park. We've got a theme park here. The entrance has got a big mouth, big smile. Yeah. I said, that's how happy this guy was. And I said, do you think I have a right to report on something like that that looks absolutely crazy? Right. You know what he said to me? What? Oh, people grieve differently. And I just looked at, I should be interviewing you.
Yeah, they grieve differently, but they're not cracking up. They're not laughing their heads off the next day.
I said, if it was me, I could not even interview anyone for 2 weeks. If anyone wanted to interview me, I would tell them where to go in no uncertain terms.
Yeah.
And if I started talking, I wouldn't be able to say 2 words. I'd choke down it. But anyway, people grieve differently. So I'm crazy for thinking that, even reporting that.
For questioning.
I never mentioned I should have mentioned the Twin Towers and asked him how many Twin Towers fell. He would have said 2, right. And I would have laughed at him. That shows how much you investigate. That shows where you get your knowledge in it from, the media.
Yeah, from the TV.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I said, I didn't say it, but I'm a journalist. The difference between me and mainstream media journalists is that, one, I do it for nothing, apart from donations from some kind people who might want to donate. 2, I actually investigate and research. And 3, I tell the truth. I didn't say that, but I could have. I didn't want to I had to be as calm as I can. I joked with them. I told them jokes. I said I had a great career. I was a computer programmer for 20-odd years. I actually developed the payroll system at the Herald and Weekly Times, our biggest newspaper, in 1991, all on my own, which was a huge achievement. People don't know about it. I don't brag about things I do, but I'm just saying this now.
Right.
As you know, as I get on, Herald and Weekly Times, the articles they put out on me. Thank you very much, Herald Weekly Times, for thanking me for what I did 20-odd years ago, for absolutely trying to slander me with lies over the weekend. So that happened. That was what happened actually? Yeah, they walked out and they said, "We're going to speak to our team." I said, "What team?" "We're going to speak to our team." So okay, they said, "Wait here." I waited a few minutes and I walked out to sort of the reception and near the waiting room. And I just see the normal people, other staff, they're just, talking, getting different clients into their room. They weren't talking to a team. They were talking to the powers that be that are trying to destroy me, whoever they may be.
Yeah.
And I said to the reception, I can't wait any longer because, my mum's threatening. She's called me.
Right.
I've got to get out of here. And the guy came up after a minute into the reception area and said, pointed to me, come around back to the door. And he said, "Come in." I tried to open the door, it was closed. Then he walked away. I couldn't even get in. I don't know what they're doing to me. So I waited another minute. I said, "Bugger this, I've got to go home." I just walked out. Then they didn't actually ring me that night. I was shocked they didn't. But that's about all for the Friday that I can remember, how I'm feeling, like what's going on. And I can't say anything. People are trying to contact me. I'm getting messages, texts. So anyway, go back to the next day, and lo and behold, is when the whole media got together and said, "This guy, we've got to destroy him." I don't want to go into the articles. People have seen it. It's virtually saying I impersonated someone, but like I said, I don't want to get into it. I don't want to get into it.
Right.
People have seen it. It was, like I said, Herald and Weekly Times were one of the people. I was top of the views all Saturday. 4 times higher views than the Donald Trump article.
Wow. That's
4 times. What? This is going to be on the media, but they couldn't. They didn't put it on the media. All they did was play my audio of the phone call.
Right.
They wouldn't put it on the mainstream media. I mean, people, will start thinking maybe there is something to this, but obviously everyone thinks now I am an absolute loony to even suggest anything, but like I said, I won't go there. So I have to suffer through all the weekend, hopefully for these article counts to go down and finally get wiped off news, whatever articles. Then it got on 9, MSN, whatever. Then Daily Mail. Obviously no comments in Daily Mail because they knew they'd be slaughtered.
Of course.
And a big article on Australian June News saying I'm the most despicable anti-Semitic thing that ever seen. I mean, disgusting.
Yeah, I saw that.
So I won't get it. So all right, that's the weekend done. I'll quickly get on to. I don't know how long this video is going to be, mate. But
it's okay. People want to
hear
the
truth.
This.
I am telling you every single truth. Swear to God, I can hold the Bible in my hand. This is all truth, nothing but the truth. So help me God. So, like 3 sleepless nights. 3 sleepless nights. My head is pounding. I cannot eat. I can't do anything. And meanwhile, my family is hysterical. My daughter, and I didn't speak to my ex-wife. I've got no intention to speak to her, but especially my loving daughter, who's absolutely hysterical, sort of telling me, "I've warned you, Dad. Why are you doing this, Dad? Why are you doing this? You're driving yourself crazy." And I won't mention names, but 2 very close personal friends I've just said goodbye to because they never supported me. Yeah. Very, very disappointingly. So come Monday, a friend of mine, I actually asked for support the night before on comments because who knows, the media would be there, but a very slim chance. Like I said, they're not going to broadcast me on the main news. Give me the opportunity. By God, would I say a few things? You know,
Yeah, that's what they don't want.
which I don't want to talk about because I can't say anything now anymore, as you know.
Yeah.
I've wiped myself clean of this. I've wiped myself clean of anything that's happened in Australia in the last 2 or 3 years that I've reported on. I have to stay away. I'm too close to, I don't know what you could call it, anyway, I'm too close to the scene of anything being here in Australia. And hardly anyone talking about anything. I'm sort of like I'm the Lone Ranger.
Yeah.
Not a good thing to be. It turns out it's not a good thing to be. Come Monday morning, I had to be at the court at 9:30. What I was actually charged for, I'll tell you this, I won't go too personal. The copy that the police station gave me, honestly, you'd have to have the best vision in the world to read. I still can't read the conditions myself, and I'm wearing my glasses. That's more, dig in the guts. Actually, what I forgot, let's get back.
All right.
The mental health, how they harassed and haunted me.
Yeah.
On the weekend, they called me a few times, and I had enough of it. My son called them back, and it's virtually said, just leave my dad alone. And he's not crazy, blah, 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 whatever he said, I'm not sure. But
right.
They rang me to say, I've got an appointment, another assessment, can you believe, the Monday morning at 11 o'clock. That's 3 in 3 days, if you don't count the weekend. Three assessments in 3 days. What are they trying to do to me?
Well, it sounds like a trap.
And this is while I'm supposed to be in court.
Yeah.
I virtually said, go away and leave me alone.
Right.
But they haven't left me alone. So that was the day, or Saturday and Sunday. I can't remember which day it was. So come to the magistrates. Oh, yeah, sorry, I was going to read out what my charge was.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing this. This is what my charge was.
Yeah, a lot of people wanted to know what that was.
Personal protection intervention order. Okay? That's all I'll talk about, that. Intervention order. And yet I have been treated like Charles Manson, the murderer.
Yeah.
So my friend who helped me, thank God, I appreciate him, and 3 others that turned up for support, went there to the court. There was no media outside, obviously. We go through the security inside. We're sitting there, and as time goes by, these people came to support me. We just sat there and chatted. I went to see legal aid, thank God. Initially, I wasn't going to, but thank God I got a great woman who helped me through all this.
Good.
And, the whole thing was, I spoke to her, she listened to me about the story, and she said, well, in a way they had a case for this intervention, but it was pretty, not the greatest case. I mean, I didn't even have a warning. I did not even have a warning from what I did. But like I said, I don't want to get involved in that, but I have to mention that, tell you what happened at court. So this went on, I was there for like 3 hours, called in about 3 times with my lawyer representing me. She virtually said, I virtually said, I don't know how far to go here. I said to her, look, the person that I've got the intervention order, I don't even know what they look like. But anyway, that's as much as I'll say on that. Just before we went in, she called me in and said, well, she's spoken to the police. I've agreed to accept this order for 12 months and all the conditions, and the police have said, because I wanted this for my security. I don't want to bump into someone in a supermarket and all of a sudden, bang, hang on, you've gone within the limits, and I'm going to report you to the police.
Yeah, how do you...
I don't want to even get in that situation.
Right.
So that my lawyer said that the police have told me just do a search on social media and you'll see what the person looks like.
Right.
Well, okay. So leave it at that.
All right.
Not interested in any more. I just want to get this over and done. I'm going to say yes and get out of there. So yeah, we went into the court. It was over in minutes. The judge read out the conditions and I accepted it. He said that if I breach any of these conditions, I will be up for, I think he said $29,000 fine and imprisonment. Pretty strong. Okay, so I got out of there, done. Thank you very much. Then I had to go get my papers for the whole thing, and what a relief. So, but what I left out is there was a few people who sitting around me who would also have an intervention cases.
Right.
And two people I spoke to, they both said to me that they were actually called by the police to come to the police station to actually get the intervention order. I said, oh, really?
Wow.
And here I was thrown in the back of a paddy wagon, treated inhumanely,
intimidated,
over an intervention order.
And called
There's
by
no difference to what I and them. So, Robin, what is going on? And I put that out to everyone. What is going on that I am different to anyone else? And the main reason I want to bring this out is how I've been treated.
Yeah.
Not so much by the media, which is absolute, whatever,
unconscionable how they're treating you.
They're dehumanising me with what they did, and this continuing of the mentor thing. They actually rang me again yesterday. Was it yesterday or yesterday? Last night.
Yeah.
And I told them, please don't call me again. Please stop harassing me. And there'll be more action if they continue. They won't leave me alone.
Yeah, that mental health thing is a slippery slope because they'll trap you. They'll just report anything that meets their end goal of basically what is calling you nuts.
Look, I don't want to be set up.
Yeah.
They might set up an event and use me as the fall guy, whatever, and say, yeah, this is the guy, the conspiracy theorist who.
Yeah. That's why you need to avoid them unless, this is some kind of court order that you have to have these interviews.
I've had no order at all. I was never charged for anything apart from the intervention. And I made the mistake going the second time, but I had no idea. I just had to follow. I didn't want to get in deep shit, as they say.
So if they keep calling you, say, show me where I'm
just saying, please don't call me again. There'll be further action taken. I'll get even a lawyer onto you.
Yeah, good.
Hopefully they don't contact me, but they will. They'll continue. That's the job.
Yeah.
And well, they know. I've said I'm not going to do anything. Leave me alone. I'm not going to comment, talk about this event and any persons involved. Please leave me alone.
Right.
I wasn't charged for anything. I'm a journalist, for God's sake.
Right.
But anyway, I'm feeling a lot better. Like I said, I went for a walk this morning. I didn't go for a walk for 5 days, and got out. Got out in the fresh air, and
good.
Hopefully it's all done. Okay.
Well, it's a shame that this is happening to you. It's really a crying shame. And I just want to point out one thing. You brought up Sandy Hook. This is, what the Jew news harassing your family members is, and they get away with it. But if anybody, which has happened, calls anybody to inquire, as you did, as a journalist, researcher, anybody having to do with Sandy Hook, they're immediately called harassers and criminals, and they're actually even locked up for it. But when the tables are turned, as is the case here, obviously with the Jew news people, they can get away with this stuff, and that's just unacceptable. But this whole thing is just intimidation. They're trying to scare you because you're making a huge difference. And your work has been seen the world round, and that people like you are a threat to the establishment, and so they're trying to scare you off. That's what they're doing. That's why you had a homicide senior detective call you. They're harassing your relatives. I mean, personally, it's obvious that that's what they're doing, trying to scare you. All they had to do was call you and tell you about your court date for the intervention thing, and like they did the other people. So anyway, it just seems obvious to me that that's what they're doing. That's their tactic.
Okay, Robin, look, like I said from the start, I haven't gone too far. Like I said, I respect that you haven't mentioned anything about individuals and the event. And, I mean, this is surely what I've said cannot be used against me for anything. So...
No, we haven't discussed it at all.
You're obviously going to publish this on your channel. It's up to you. I'm definitely, like I said, won't be publishing anything whatsoever to do
with
anything in Australia, even if something happens tomorrow, it's just off the map for me.
Right.
And sorry, but my lips are sealed. And anyone thinks this is all a setup, well, believe what you want. Maybe you would want to be in my shoes for the last 5 days, because it wasn't very pleasant. Trust me. And who knows if it's. I don't know if I should bring this up. Oh well, why not? I've had people make the most sickening comments to me in the last 3 days through Facebook, which I can't even close my Facebook. It says I've got to wait 14 days, but plus personal messages through the internet, calling me the biggest filth on this planet, and I should rot in hell in jail. I should be killed. And there's one certain individual. Well, I'm actually going to go to the police station now. Definitely not the one that arrested me in, but to report his threats. He showed his picture on his YouTube channel. I don't know if it's him, but he's made 2 comments, one privately to me and one in comments, virtually saying that he was part of this, working with the police to shut me up, and he says he's going to get me. He knows my name, address, and what I look like, and he's going to get me. And I can't just leave that alone.
No,
that is worse, a million times worse than what I did. And I have to report it to the police, and I don't know what the police are going to do, but I have to do it. I'm going to hopefully get an intervention on whoever this person is, and I hope to see him in court with a lot of supporters, and to vent their feelings that someone can do this. I mean, I don't want to talk about it. I won't even talk about it. Sorry.
All right.
Yeah, this is just for people to do this. I mean, it's probably just bluffing me, but I can't take the risk.
Yeah.
I've got family. I don't know. They obviously, could find the address of my children, my granddaughter.
Right.
It's a sick world out there, Robin.
It is.
And there's one thing I can guarantee anyone listening is I'm not sick. I'm not a sick person.
Well, we know that.
I'm not. I don't have to prove that.
No,
people have attacked me in the truth movement, thinking I'm this and that. I'm a disinfo shield, COINTEL. Even to the fact they call me that 3-letter word starting with J. I'm sorry. I don't know if I can say that now, because according to them, I'm the most anti-Semitic, despicable person on the planet. because I called not having flowers at a funeral big tight ass. I mean,
you called them cheap.
Sorry.
Which is a stereotype that everybody knows that Jews are called. People say things all the time. They don't necessarily always mean them. Things just come out of our mouths. We're not perfect. Those of us out here doing this, we're not perfect. We make mistakes. We say things maybe we might think twice about saying, but you're not crazy.
I mean,
you're not.
Come on.
We all know you're not crazy. And
if that's how bad they want to, cry wolf about things, because I said they were tight asses.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, get me off this planet, please. There must be a better place to go. All right, Robin, just going to cut it there.
Okay, I'll just close with.
If I've left anything out, sorry. Like I said, I didn't know. It was hard to talk about something that you're not allowed to talk about, if you know what I mean.
I know, it's tricky, isn't it?
And I didn't talk about that. So please, if this goes to the hands of anyone, I specified from the start, please not mention it. Whatever. And
Nobody's named any names.
Told what happened to me straight from the heart.
Right.
Exactly how I was treated and being treated.
Inhumanely.
So I'll cut it there. Thanks, Robin.
One more thing. You said you said you're doing this for nothing. You're not doing this for nothing. You're doing this to make the world a better place, and we all thank you for that.
I respect that, Robin, and I know you're doing the same. You are, I believe, the number one person in the world, the way you do your work, and you've got more courage than anyone that I've ever known in what you're doing. I mean, this isn't like me arse-licking you and you arse-licking me. You respect me and I respect you, and I thank you for giving me the chance to speak my piece on the whole event, and hopefully this is the end of it. I don't get tormented anymore or terrorised by whoever.
We hope the same thing for you. So
And I just want to finish, just quick, I've said it before,
Sure.
I sincerely thank not just you, but everyone that's stuck by me, who's sticking by me, all around the world, people I'll never ever meet in my life. By God, I'd love to meet every single one of yous. But, you know, spreading the word that your thoughts and prayers were, sorry, I'm nearly breaking down here, I'm trying not to. Your thoughts and prayers were with me in all this time. I didn't want to tell anyone about the actual charge I had, because people would have sort of come out laughing that, it was, it's not minor. Intervention is not minor, but it's not a criminal charge, and
Right.
it would have gone around wildfire that this is all a setup, and this guy's there's nothing's wrong with him. He hasn't been arrested or anything, but there it is. Okay,
All right.
we'll go on forever, but it's not.
All right.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you very much for being here.
Yeah. Thanks. Take care.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.